Tua Tagovailoa, Alabama's quarterback, listed as a co-favorite to win the Heisman, along with Trevor Lawrence from Clemson. Both are plus 275 at Caesars. The last player to win the Heisman the year after finishing runner-up for the award is Herschel Walker in 1982. Now, Tua thrived against every opponent not named Georgia or Clemson last season. His total QBR of 96 dropped all the way down to 44 against those two teams, and he threw more interceptions in those two games than he did the entire rest of the season. Now, some of that did have to do with his health. He was not healthy toward the end of the year, but a lot of it had to do with other things that Dan Orlovsky here is going to tell us about. And when I was there in Tuscaloosa for the spring game with Steve Sarkisian, Dan is the new offensive coordinator for Alabama, they were talking a lot about eye discipline, specifically on his reads and specifically timing it up with his footwork. What can Tua improve upon?
And that stat that Hembo put up is amazing. The big thing is, the first album that I was ever able to listen to start to finish was Jay-Z's The Blueprint. And Georgia laid out the blueprint of what Tua struggles with, and it's really seeing the picture change pre-snap to post-snap. This is against Georgia in the SEC title game. And I'm going to just draw up the route concept. So Waddle's going to have a seam here. Josh Jacobs, who we're going to talk about a little bit later, is going to come to seam, and they're going to pull this back this way to try and get some action from these linebackers to step down. Now, as we look at the coverage from Georgia that they're showing Tua, it's two high safeties. This is a middle field open type of look from Georgia. And if that stays the case, the progression for Tua is going to be number 1, Jacobs, 2, to a check down, something like that. But the picture is going to change on Tua, and he's not going to see it well as I play. So as I play that play a little bit, the picture changed. That safety's now dropped down. This safety has gone to the middle of field. Now, I drew up that progression initially and said that Waddle's crossing, Jacobs has the seam, and the back is coming this way. But now that the coverage has changed and the picture has changed and this safety's dropped down and he's going to middle field, it's middle field closed now. So the read should be 1 to 2 to 3. But look at Tua's eyes. He's staring still down at Jacobs, still thinking he's number 1 because of some of the pull of the backers. But if you play it just a blink, there is plenty of space for Tua to throw this ball if he was treating Waddle as number 1. He's got a press corner with his back turned up here, but he didn't see that change of picture from those safeties. He's going to be late to the throw, ends up being an interception. Now, Clemson, being really good defensively themselves, used that blueprint early on in the national title game, and Tua struggled with it again. Right now, Clemson's showing Tua, we're playing a middle field closed defense. You got 2 corners that are going to bail or play a deep third. This safety's in the deep middle. But I want to highlight this defender first right here. He's going to be a guy that is going to blitz Tua. And Tua knows I don't have anyone accounted to protect him. So I've got to throw hot. This guy will not be blocked. Well, thinking that he's going to have that deep third up top, Tua's going to go, I've got an easy throw. But Clemson has changed the picture. That safety's rolling over the top. This corner is not going anywhere. He's got eyes to Tua. As you can see, he's already throwing the football. He's not seeing the picture change, and it ends up being an easy pick 6 for Clemson. So listen, Tua does a lot of amazing things. But I said last week, his season starts December 7th in the SEC title game, likely against Georgia. But the blueprint to beat Tua or to confuse him is out there by the teams that can do it. Change that picture on him constantly. He has to get better at that.
Either way, he does have an incredible group of receivers coming back with Jerry Jeudy leading the way. Great stuff, Dan. We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.